California's Gold is seen statewide on California Public Television. This series is endorsed by the California Teachers Association, the California School Boards Association, and the California Library Association. Well, hello everybody, I'm Huell Hauser, and you know, one of the exciting things about living here in Southern California is that all of us have an opportunity every day to meet a very broad section of people and hear their life stories. There are a lot of very interesting people who call Southern California home. And recently, I met a new person who's become a new friend. Actually, I met two new people, and here's the story. I was walking down the street. Make sure I'm telling this correctly.
I'll correct you.
I was walking down the street. I looked in the window of kind of a combination barber beauty shop there on Larchmont Village.
Yes.
And I saw this couple in there. They were both in the barber chairs being worked on. And I waved, and they waved back and had big smiles on their faces and looked very friendly and welcoming. So I said, what the heck, I'm just going to go in and say hello.
I was so happy that you came in because my husband, Walter Dominguez, and I are such huge fans. And I was like a kid. I was just like, oh my God, that's Huell Hauser, oh my God.
So I went inside and we started talking. And we talked for a good 10 or 15 minutes. And just as I was getting ready to leave, the barber, I think, is the one who said, oh, by the way, this lady right here is in show business too. She's in television and movies as well. And I went, oh, really? And we started talking about that. Turns out, let's talk a little bit about your career. You came to Los Angeles how many years ago?
63 years ago, from the Bronx.
From the Bronx to L.A. You've lived in the same house for
63 years.
Okay, and you've been married to the same guy for how long?
It's 35 years we're married.
And you've been in lots of movies.
Lots of movies, television, stage, radio, voiceovers. I've been doing this since 1957.
Wow. And some of the movies you've been in that people might recognize?
Oh my goodness. Troop Beverly Hills, Fools Rush In. He knows all my credits.
Weren't you a flying nun, too?
I was Sister Sisto, the sweet, dear Puerto Rican nun who got everything screwed up when she talked.
But the latest thing you've done, and this series was on for 8 years, and of course it's going to be in syndication forever. And
okay, I bookended, so to speak, The Flying Nun, which brought me quite a bit of recognition, with Will and Grace. Rosario on Will and Grace. I loved Rosario.
You gave it away. I was going to build up because, of course, I was the only person who didn't recognize you.
Well,
but
if
it was
I started
because,
talking like this, then you'd know.
Yeah.
She's tough.
You weren't in a maid's uniform.
And I don't do windows.
And you don't do windows. And you were so sweet and nice. And in the Will and Grace series, you play kind of a tough, stern...
She's tough, she's smart, and for a Hispanic woman to be on television that doesn't take any guff from anyone and is smart and tough, it was a good image. It was a good image.
Do you have people coming up and recognizing you on the street?
They don't.
As Rosario? What do they, how does that play out?
It's usually, I'll be in line, let's say at the 99-cent store. And the person who's either in front of me or behind me will suddenly look at me and will go, ah! And it's like, what, you know? And it's, Rosario! They may not know Shelley Morrison, which is cool, but they know Rosario. And it's
what do they say about Rosario?
Oh, thank you for making me laugh. Someone asked me once, what do you want to be remembered for? And it's that I made people laugh. The world with all the woes and the troubles and the aggravations and the hardships, that you can laugh for a few moments, and it's not a cheap laugh. The writing was brilliant.
Yeah.
But more important than that, because we have really a low-key, low style. We don't go to fancy parties or restaurants. I don't like getting dressed up. My idea of hell is going shopping for clothes. Is that we get to do charity work. the celebrity, whatever celebrity is there, shines a light on whatever you're interested in. And my husband and I are passionate about any issue having to do with animals, children, AIDS, and building schools in Africa. We just helped our nephew, who's in the Peace Corps, build a school in Mali.
See, that's why we're here today, because we don't do programs with celebrities or talk about their latest movies. You know, that's not what we're all about. You know that because you've been watching our show for a long time.
Such a fan.
But we're here because of one of your passions, which are animals.
Animals.
And I know your husband, you haven't said a word, but you're used to that, aren't you?
I try to just be a supportive presence in the background.
But did you go to the tapings of Will and Grace over the years?
Almost every one of them.
Yeah. So you were a supporting cast member the whole time.
Absolutely.
And you're here to support today.
Oh yeah.
Because this is the tip-off right here. We got two of the stars of the new stars of the show right here. Rosario, well, wait a minute, I'm calling you Rosario. I should call you Shelley. Shelley, where are we right now, and what are we getting ready to see? Because this is why we're here today, because this is your passion.
We're in Acton. We're at Animal Acres, which is a refuge for rescued farm animals. Mm-hmm. The city does not have facilities for farm animals, for pigs and chickens and turkeys and goats, etc. And this place has been in existence since, oh, so sweet.
Yeah, boy, she's showing off too.
Is she beautiful?
Been in existence for how long?
Since 2005.
And how did you get connected with it?
We met Lori.
Come on over here, Laura. You've been standing in the wings long enough.
That's right. That's where I'm best at.
How are you doing?
Lori Houston.
I'm Huell Hauser.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
Thank
to
you
meet
so much for coming
You're
up.
the executive director.
That's right, head mucker here at Animal.
How did you hook up with them?
You know, well, of course, I've known that Shelley and Walter were both very active in charity, and we contacted them to see if they could help us with our first gala. And every year since then, they've been a huge help, and she's always on our honorary committee to help educate people about these issues and raise funds.
You got hooked on this.
She got hooked.
Oh, anything that will help to people be aware, especially children. And on Sundays, they have tours here, and you can go to animalacres.org, and they have free tours, and they can come out here and see all these magnificent, incredible animals. It just runs the gamut.
Well, it's a beautiful facility here. We're in Acton, right off the 14 highway on the way up to Palmdale and Lancaster, and we're getting ready now to start our tour and see the farm animals that have been rescued. And from what I've seen so far, I'm having flashbacks to my days on my grandparents' farm back in Tennessee. You don't have any cows to milk, do you?
No, we don't have any milk cows. We've got a lot of steers, though.
I just wanted to add one other thing. Besides people being educated about how the treatment of farm animals should be, it's also a good reason to come out here. There's some excellent cookbooks. And to start thinking about becoming a vegetarian. Not only to save the animals and to cut down on the horrible factory farms that exist, but also for your health.
Yeah.
It cleans out your system. It gives you more energy. It's less money in these days when the dollar really has to stretch.
Yeah.
Well, just look at her.
I'm
fabulous, or
I'm
what?
72.
I know. See?
And
There you go.
not to start all at one time because you'll fail. Little by little, just start introducing it.
You don't have to prime her about what to say, do you? She's already totally up to speed.
There's a lot of Rosario in her.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to start the tour because this is just the tip of the iceberg. We got 2 turkeys. We got 2 chickens right here. Here are the chicken. Oh, they've all got names. So the turkeys are named
Pumpkin and Spice.
Pumpkin and Spice, and the chickens are...
Yeah, that's Cinnamon and Sage.
Here's Sage right over here. We're starting our tour
And the pigs. You want to go see the pigs?
here at Animal Acres. From a cute little chicken to a, well, I gotta say it's cute. It's a cute.
Thank you.
Is it a she?
We think she's adorable. Yes, this is a girl.
It's a she, and it's a big pig.
She's a big girl. This is Georgia. Now, here in Hollywood, it's a great honor to have a pig named after you. And Georgia Fox is one of our other celebrity supporters. And so, Georgia, this is Georgia. She adopted her.
How did Georgia get to Animal Acres?
Georgia actually came.
Wait a minute. Look, there's a pig.
Oh, that's Jimmy the Snout. Jimmy does snout, actually.
There's another pig, and look, there are two more back here.
That's Christina, and we have an Alicia.
Now,
we're gonna have a Shelley soon.
Where do these?
The next baby girl
Shelley,
pig.
you're gonna get a pig named after you. Now, where do these pigs come from?
They come from all abused and neglected situations. They're abandoned at stockyards, or we rescue them from factory farms, which are intensive confinement operations, which have been outlawed now in California because the public learned about the
there was
cruel
a proposition on the ballot.
Proposition 2, and it basically outlawed the cruel intensive confinement of farm animals.
Well, how do you get a pig out of one of those situations?
Open the gate.
Well, I know, but you can't open up the gate.
They usually come in pretty small. I mean, most of these pigs all came in at about the size of little Jumper there, one of our newest little girls. And they're usually very sick. They need a lot of care and rehabilitation because we get them because they're sick and then they're discarded, just like trash.
Do the people at the facility give them to you?
You know, one of the things I'm seeing, I've been doing this now for
that's at least nice that they do that.
It is really cool.
Can we walk down here? I guess it's okay to walk behind a pig.
yeah.
It's not like walking behind a horse.
You don't want to get between two pigs eating. That's the big thing.
Okay.
So
boy, look at these pigs.
Aren't they beautiful? Now, this is a baby girl. Now, see, one of the reasons everybody's astounded by their size, just like you, well, that's because pigs have been genetically altered to grow very fast and very large, abnormally so. So if they're allowed to live, of course, then they're going to become quite large. But pigs actually go to the slaughterhouse when they're only 6 months of age, and they're just babies.
Look at the size of that.
Yeah, this is Bagel.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
So how many pigs do you have here?
We have 11 pigs right now. Oh, this is Christina. She was, you know, you've heard about 4-H and Future Farmers of America program. Well, the kids are raising the animals to raise them for food, but invariably a lot of kids fall in love with the animals that they're raising. So they
look at that
them
face.
And bring them to Animal Acres.
Come over here and give us a look, Christina.
That's Christina.
Christina's not giving us her.
She's eating.
I'm sorry.
Do not bother a pig when they're eating.
So what do you do with these big pigs?
They'll live out their lives here, or we do look for loving forever homes, just like with dogs.
Nobody's going to adopt a pig that big.
Sure oh, they sure do.
I thought they liked the little pet pot-belly pigs.
No,
look, they're coming out of the woodwork here.
And see, hi, see, that's Alicia.
Wow, pigs are friendly, aren't they?
They really are, and they're like big dogs, you know.
Oh,
whoops, watch your shoelace. They love to untie shoelaces. No,
oh
don't worry.
My gosh.
They're very gentle. Actually, these are some of our best ambassadors. We have a lot of kids that come here for school tours and to learn about these issues, and the pigs have so much fun with the kids and vice versa.
Your
they love, watch out.
Look, that dog right after my cameraman.
Now that's a good cameraman. He's getting nudged, you know.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. You didn't tell me all this was going to be going on, Rosario.
You wouldn't have come.
Whoa!
You know what? When pigs move, you move.
Whoa!
But yeah, as I said,
there's a learning curve on getting comfortable around pigs.
Look at little Jimmy the Snout. See, he had a disease called rhinitis. See how his nose is all malformed? And he was discarded at a garbage dump. And fortunately, they called us, and we said, absolutely.
So people know to call you now.
They do. Actually, we get calls from 4-H kids that, you know, don't want their animals to go to a slaughterhouse. We get calls from factory farmers. We get calls from stockyard workers.
Yeah.
And then through our own investigations, we find a lot of these animals. So.
Well, I'm going to retie my shoe, and we're going to continue our tour. It's feeding time, and Shelley's right in the pen with the new little pig.
That's right. That's little Jumper. He loves Babas, just like any baby.
Now, how did you
Shelley,
get
you're such a good
Jumper?
mom. Little Jumper was one of the piglets that a worker who worked at one of these factory farms called us. She was a runt, and she was going to be discarded. So he fell in love with her. You know, that's one of the things I've seen.
He didn't want her to be destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. You know, people are having a change of heart about farm animals. It's really exciting to see. Yeah, go on in and say hi.
Well, look, that's a face. Shelley, that face kind of grows on you, doesn't it?
Good job.
How did he get the name Jumper?
She actually jumped out of the pen that she was in, and I think that's how the worker saw her. and kind of went, oh my goodness, because she was a runt, she was getting picked on by the other little piglets. And typically, if there's a sickly one, they're just discarded and they don't make it. But this little worker, I guess since she jumped to freedom, he just had to give us a call, which was really sweet.
And she'll get the size of the big ones.
She'll get to be as big as those ones, yeah. Wow. And see, she's going to grow so fast. See, she'll reach 250 pounds when she's only 6 months old. And that's usually when they go to slaughter. But of course, here down Lakers, they'll live out their natural lives and they get to be about 1,000 pounds. Wow. Oh, look at her. She's like, I want more. Oh, no.
Mission accomplished.
Good job.
Now it's on to the, I don't know what's next.
We have two adorable, no, thankfully no.
Whoa! I'm getting spooked about pigs. I don't know what it is. I get spooked about them.
It's because you're from Tennessee. They know. They know. They have a lot of pigs in Tennessee. They know. Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah.
Don't be so ornery. Okay, well, you know what? We have two cute little calves.
We better get.
Oh boy, we got loud geese here. What's the story?
These were, of course, two rescued geese that were abandoned, and they came down Lakers with Romeo and Juliet. Romeo's the bigger guy, Juliet, and they came from a cruelty case where there are a bunch of geese and ducks that were just being left to starve to death.
Where were they, at some park or some pond?
Yeah, they were like in a big park, but unfortunately people get these domestic ducks and geese and they think they can fend for themselves and they release them into the parks, but they can't make it on their own. So.
Wow, boy, yeah. Nobody's gonna sneak up on them.
You know what's so cool? They're really good guard dogs. Well, guard geese. And they're like, okay, bye.
There they go, Romeo and Juliet. It's awful quiet around here now. Oh, look over here.
Yeah, this is our...
Oh, it's like a little barnyard scene. We got...
These are some of our feathered friends.
Chickens.
Yeah. Very good.
Now, wow. What's the deal on this little group here?
Well, see these little white ones? They actually were rescued from egg farms. And unfortunately, the way that they produce eggs is they put 4 to 5 hens into a cage about the size of a folded newspaper. It's horribly cruel. Intensive confinement. Again, the good news is here in California, voters learned about that practice and they voted to stop it.
So how did you get these out of the cage?
You know, they fall. You know, we have people that go in and investigate at the egg factories. And again, when they're sick, they don't get any kind of veterinary care. They just take them out of the cages and literally throw them on the floor. And we have people that go and investigate and monitor conditions.
And they'll bring them here.
Yes, exactly.
What about the turkey? Look at this turkey.
Isn't she sweet? Yeah, somebody found her walking down a Los Angeles street. I cannot figure. No, I kid you not. We have, actually, several people have come across farm mammals here in Los Angeles. There's a lot of country critters. And fortunately now there's a place for them to come to. Yes, she's very tough.
She just got...
Isn't she pretty?
She's standing on one leg.
Yeah, she's got 2 though.
She's standing on one. I didn't know. I thought she
thinks she's a flamingo.
And look over here. We got all these white turkeys. 1, 2, 3, and then out in the sun we've got chickens and turkeys together. This is a beautiful scene.
Now that I think about that, was the first time I met Shelley. She brought out Congressman Kucinich and his wife to come out and feed the turkeys for Thanksgiving. And it was so sweet. We have these adorable photographs of Shelley and Congressman Kucinich feeding the turkeys for the holiday. It was really sweet.
Feeding the turkeys instead of the turkeys feeding us.
Exactly. Yeah, we all had tofurkey.
You were doing what?
We were feeding the turkeys tofu. Yeah, they were tofu things shaped like a turkey, like a loaf. And the thing is, you had to hold the plate from the bottom because they were going at that tofu like crazy.
Yeah, look at this. We're just surrounded. You know, I've never really been that attracted to turkeys and chickens before, but there's such a nice feeling here. And you know what? I don't want to sound too esoteric here, but you feel a good feeling here, and you kind of get the feeling that these animals are enjoying life and enjoying
thanks to this extraordinary
home.
You know, team effort. It is nice. It's a sanctuary for the soul. You know, this is a sanctuary for animals, but it's also for people who care about animals. And you can come here and be at peace with these beautiful animals, and they give so much love back.
Yeah,
it's a good feeling.
Really
it's a really great feeling. You know?
Oh boy.
Casanova.
Oh boy.
Now These guys were
What's the deal on the calves?
Both of these guys were rescued by our humane investigator who goes out to the Chino area of California, which is a big concentration of dairy cattle. And these poor babies are taken away from their mothers when they're just a day old. And they're put into these tiny little crates where they literally spend their entire lives. They can't turn around or walk. Yeah, don't trip there. And the cows often become sick. And when they become sick, they're just taken out of the crates and thrown along the side of the road to be picked up by the rendering truck. Isn't it amazing? You know.
So how did you get these? Somebody saw them?
Well, one was a downer, what they call a downed animal. They're too sick to stand. And when we were investigating, there's one dairy farm there that lets our humane investigator come in because he doesn't want to see animals, you know, go down and be left and abandoned too. And so he's letting our humane investigator come in just to make sure everything's okay. And there was a sickly little calf named Sonny. Well, we named him Sonny, and he let us have him. And this little guy was actually found alongside the road. He was just abandoned.
This one you found alongside the road?
Anytime I take you down there, I guarantee you'll see it.
Boy, this one's doing a number on me. Look at this one over here. Now this one's just stayed.
This is Sonny. He hasn't been here as long, so he's a little bit shyer. Yeah, a lot shyer. It's okay, Sonny. It's all right. He's still a little skittish. You know, if you can imagine, even though they're big animals, he's just a couple weeks old. You can see the baby face.
Look at those baby eyes.
Baby eyes. So yeah, he's just a couple weeks old.
What's going to happen to him?
Well, he'll get big and strong.
Nobody's going to adopt a cow.
You know, actually, I've found a lot of cows forever homes. Well, he's a steer actually, but cow's a girl, steer's a boy. And yeah, no, we'll very likely find him a forever home, or he'll stay here forever at Animal Acres.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't it? They're actually really sweet. It's like they're easier to care for than horses. They're actually hardier. They're real sweet. They have good natures. I mean, they're just look at Casanova. Oh, Casanova's in love with Shelley.
Oh my
Of course, who wouldn't be?
Shelley, I think this cow would be great at your house. You could have a pet cow in your backyard.
You want to help me deliver it?
You have to talk your husband into it.
Wow, look at this. Wow, they do capture your heart right away, especially when you think how easily, how close to death this little calf was. It was just along the side of the road.
Along the side of the road, just abandoned. And any day of the week I can take you down there. And unfortunately, when you have thousands and thousands of dairy cows, and today they're raised on huge feedlots. It's not like when you and I, like you're from Tennessee, I'm from Wisconsin. It's not like these small farms where there's a lot of individual care. There are thousands and thousands of animals on these giant feedlots. And so there's very little individual care and attention. So when the animals get sick, I mean, just a month ago, we were trying to pull out dairy cows who were stuck in 3 feet of mud and feces, and hi there, baby. And he was one of the babies that, was probably stuck.
I may take this one home myself.
I know.
I think this would fit just perfectly into my apartment.
I know.
All I got to do is get him housebroken, and he's mine.
That's actually kind of hard, but give it a try. Oh, it's a baby. Oh, look. Isn't it? Oh, goodness. Just like a puppy dog. Oh, careful. Except don't get stepped on. He's a little big.
Now we move on to the sheep and the goats, and we're standing here where we got a whole, look over here. We got a whole barnyard full of sheep and goats. Oh, whoa, right behind you. Wait a minute.
That's Forrest. And he was named after, remember the movie Forrest Gump? Again, I told you, we're here in Hollywood. Well, he was found running just as fast as could be down the highway. And
out on the highway?
On the highway. And
where did he come from?
We don't know, and nobody came to claim him. And he's just a handsome devil, isn't he? But he's an older emu, and he probably was just let go, again, a lot of times, especially now because of the foreclosure crisis out here and the economy.
So people get these as pets?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's definitely a pet.
And just let them go?
Yeah.
What do they think is going to happen to them?
I don't know. It's really sad. We've rescued so many animals because of foreclosures lately, especially the goats. Just dozens and dozens of goats that have been left to starve to death out in foreclosed homes.
Now, what's the story? There's a story behind every one of these animals.
Actually, Angus's mother was rescued from a slaughterhouse. It was the first U.S. raid on a slaughterhouse here in Southern California, and it happened because there was a place to take these animals. And this was one of these small little backyard type operations, and the animals were just in the worst neglectful situation. So they confiscated about 40, no, actually it was 52 sheep and goats and one emu. And they all came here. But yeah, so Angus's mother was actually rescued, and then she was pregnant when she came here and gave birth. And that's Oliver. He was also rescued from that case.
Here's Oliver.
Oh, and right behind Oliver is Mary. Mary was found wandering down the streets of Los Angeles near Koreatown.
This one right here?
Yeah, well, that's Oliver. Right to Oliver's
in
right.
Koreatown.
Yeah, Mary was found wandering down the streets in Koreatown, and a wonderful lawyer, actually. She was on her way to work, dressed up in all her, fancy suit and everything. And she called us, and we said, well, if you can get, at that time, Mary was a little lamb. So,
Mary was a little...
Very creative, huh? And Mary was a little lamb, and we said, well, bring her on over.
So she put her in her car off the side of the street.
I think it was even a Lexus or Mercedes or something.
Right on the side of the street in Koreatown, and brought her out here.
That's right.
Well, what can I say? First off, as far as Animal Acres is concerned, we're going to put all the information on the screen.
Thank you, sweetie.
Get people out here. Sundays is a day when they can come and interact with the animals, but you can be contacted by people anytime.
Anytime. We need volunteers.
Not only
24/7.
people to come out and visit, but people who know of cruelty to animals that could maybe find a new home for these animals. And we think about dogs and cats. We don't think a lot about these farm animals, these beautiful farm animals, and what happens to them when they're not wanted or they're treated badly.
Yeah, that's really true. And that's really what Animal Acres is about, just to teach people that farm animals are animals too. They have feelings just like a dog or cat or you and I.
Yeah.
And we need everybody to get involved. Like you say, call if there's a cruelty case, come on out and volunteer, come to one of our events.
Yeah, when you come out here, though, I'm going to put a warning up here. Be prepared to fall in love and end up taking a pig or an emu or a sheep or a goat or something home with you, because they grow on you when you come out here.
They do grow on you.
And you, as far as celebrities are concerned, see, I mean, what are the odds that we met like we did?
It was meant to be.
Well, it might have been.
But I just want to say something on behalf of Lori and myself and Walter and everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you, because if you don't shine the light, nobody knows.
But see, here is this perfect example we were talking about using your celebrity as Rosario, that stern maid of Karens on Will and Grace. Who would have ever thought in a million years, all the years I've watched you on television, would I think that we would end up in a barnyard together talking about something like this, which is so beautiful and so wonderful. So thank you.
Bless you.
Not only for giving us all this joy all these years, but for shining your light on Animal Acres and what this place is all about.
Well, this is what my husband and I strive for, to not add to the confusion of the world, but try to make it a little better place.
Well, you've certainly made it a better place for us this morning. We have had an absolutely wonderful morning here at Animal Acres, this kind, peaceful, gentle place that you've got to come see for yourself. We've had an absolutely wonderful day. Animal Acres is well worth a visit. And if you'd like to share this particular adventure with your family, with your friends, with anyone who cares about the humane treatment of animals, well, it's available on DVD. All you have to do is call 1-800-266-5727, and we'll be glad to send it to you right away.